with Sewanee Swimming and Diving head coach Max Obermiller as the Tigers start their season Saturday against Center. Max, thanks for joining me. First of all, just talk a little bit about how preseason training has been going for you guys.
Thanks for having me here, Clayton. The bread and butter of this team is hard work. You know, the kids are really devoted. They understand that's the greatest correlation to success. The other real attribute of this team is they're interested in covering all the events regardless of who's returned or where we have gaps, and the kids are very willing and able to learn new events, to approach new things, and that's a great strength of this group.
You have we'll kind of start with the women's team. You have a number of returners coming back on the ladies' side. Who are some of the leaders on your team, and also what do you kind of expect from those returners that are coming back?
We're real blessed with two very strong captains and a very strong women's senior class.
Mm-hmm.
All of them are leaders in their own right. Carolyn Rice was all-conference in both IMs and the 200 back. Anna Thorson's the co-captain. Anna's setting herself up for the best year she's ever had up to this point, and swimming as well, if not better than everybody in practice. Erin Neal, Mallory Graves, Abby Cole, all just major contributors on the women's side, all seniors, just all terrific people. So again, I think the team follows the seniors, and their willingness to swim new events, their willingness to train hard, translates into the whole team, the core, all believing in those values.
You always bring a number of talented newcomers in each year. What do you expect from this year's freshman class?
The freshman class was pretty small. We had 7 total. Okay. Of which 6 were women. All of them have a lot of potential. All of them are a little bit raw right now. I think will surprise a lot of people come the end of the season. Probably not as many surprises at the beginning of the year.
What are maybe some team goals that you have for the group, and maybe goals that each swimmer has set for themselves?
I mean, making NC2As is always paramount, and we have 4 to 6 kids that can legitimately think about that. Potentially a couple relays on both the men's and the women's side can. Last year we had some B cuts established by kids, and they'd like to move deeper into that because typically the top 21 matriculate onto nationals. So that's a pretty big deal. But honestly, the #1 team goal is to be successful in the classroom. Mm-hmm. The team has been academic All-Americans 43 semesters in a row. We've had 3 of the last 5 NC2A post-grad award winners. So the academic success is a big deal to the kids, and they'll rank that among their very top goals. Obviously, finishing in the top 2 or 3 spots at conference is always on our agenda. We may not have the depth this year for the men. I think we do for the women. Probably the deepest freestyle team I've had since I've been here.
Okay. You mentioned the men maybe not having as much depth this year as we typically do. Who are some of the returners that may stand out this year for the guys?
Again, great senior class. Ed Dennis and Jackson Cromer are senior men's captains, and both guys have been forces in a variety of events. Michael Whitehead comes back as a top performer in conference. He was runner-up in the 400 IM, set our school record there. Those guys combined with graduating senior Brian Glatt to set the 800 free record. So I think there's a lot of talent. I didn't mention Will Ralston, but a huge impact player, and he will probably be our top sprinter, kind of heir apparent to Brian, and really bringing those relays home strong. You
and I, on the way up here, we were talking a little bit about our divers. Could you just kind of go into some of our better divers on the team?
Well, there's only 5, but the men returners are both really good. Courtney Moore was an all-conference performer. He finished 3rd on both the 1 and the 3 meter. Winston joins him, and again, he's a real talent, and I feel like for the men, we're going to be pretty strong there. The women, Grace Baker comes back, but really we're more novice-oriented toward that, and I feel really good about our potential. Practice has been going exceptionally well, and the girls are learning the dives on the 1 and the 3 meter.
And then kind of the last thing, Max, if you don't mind talking about, is your schedule. We Always Swim against a lot of top teams, not only in Division III, but we also sometimes throw in some scholarship programs that we swim against. How's your schedule this year?
It's tough, Clayton. But if you want to be the best, you have to compete against the best. And I wish we could say we're real competitive with Emory. We definitely have some kids that can race their best kids, and they were 5-time Division III national champions. They're on the schedule. Men are always top 3 in the country. We host 2 major invites. Again, lots of talented teams, some scholarship programs coming in. And the kids really like that. I mean, they want to see the best. They want to race against the best. It's a great schedule in terms of being favorable for home meets. We only travel twice. So we're in familiar territory with hosting a couple major meets and some of our major dual meets.
All right. Well, once again, you can catch the Tigers in action this Saturday against Center. The meet is here at
10 a.m.
10 a.m. So come out and support the team. Thanks, Max.
Thanks.